There's been so many things that's held us down. Now it looks as though things are finally coming around.
I know we've got a long, long way to go, but where we'll end up, I don't know. But we won't let nothing
Hold us back.
Gotta put ourselves together, gotta polish up our act well.
Never been held down before.
Sound like you ready for the stage. I know you refuse to be held down anymore. Well,
don't you let nothing.
You finna try it?
Huh?
You finna try it?
I guess not.
Stay tuned for another edition of the Prison World Radio Hour.
Prison World, the Prison World show is coming show. Prison World, radio show, and we gon' have some fun. Prison World, the Prison World show is coming show. Prison World, radio show, and we gon' have some fun.
Welcome to all of our global listeners around the world. Welcome to another edition of the Prison World Radio Hour. I am your host, Jenny Triplett, and attached to my hip is my co-host, Ismail. Okay, so what happened to hitting that note? You know, there's no stopping your thought process. There's no stopping your thought process, so I thought you would have stopped before you were going to try to hit that note. Do you know the note? Don't you let nothing.
I don't know why you got off on no tangent.
Standing always.
We need to come on.
Yeah. I thought you was going to hit it. Okay.
You ain't think I was going to hit that?
Ain't no stopping us now. Almost became a tradition for us when we were doing our anniversary shows. I think it was a couple years that we actually didn't sing this song, but we sing this song because we're always surprised that another year. Ain't no stopping us now.
I ain't surprised.
From year to year, you never know what's going to happen. We've been through a lot since our 7th anniversary show. We've been through the storm, through the fire, but somehow we
through the fire.
Oh, you know that song too?
Through whatever comes along.
Somehow we keep picking up the pieces and we just keep going. We're always on the lookout at what's coming next. We just never know. Life comes at you fast, good or bad. We're grateful for it all.
You sound like a commercial.
Because it seems like as soon as we start picking up momentum, something always happens.
Life comes at you fast.
Yeah, something always happened, always without fail. In 2010, we were just really getting started. 2009, we got our feet wet with our foundation, our groundwork.
Stella got her groove back.
2010, here comes 3 children. 3 children that needed to be, taken in, taken care of, and it was a setback. It was almost like, I'm going to test you to see if you really want to keep doing this. Of course, we had to.
I ain't never get set back.
We had to go on hiatus.
I ain't going on
we had to go on hiatus. We
I
couldn't
don't
do the
ride
radio
hyenas.
show. We couldn't do the radio show because we had 3 children, come into our home, relative children that needed taken care of.
Talking about 3 kids of mine that like I didn't know them or something.
No. And one of our nieces had special needs, so she needed extra special attention. So we had to drop our attention from some of the stuff that we were doing.
Well, I did have to drop little man to the floor.
Stop it. So this has to be a passion for real and not just one of those fly by night projects, because you know how folks love to jump on the bandwagon with stuff, and people are like, yeah, I'm gonna do a podcast, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And even with the people
that was way back then.
Even with the people who are marching
these
days, and they gonna march. Yeah, we gonna march on Washington, and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. And then a month later or 2 months later, it's like, what happened?
Didn't they march?
What had happened? Okay, but what happened? What came out of the march? What came out of all that march?
All kind of stuff.
What?
All them people that was down there.
What came out of it though? So what's been done?
All kind of stuff.
It was justice or else. So where's the else? Where's the else? Where's the justice?
Justice is coming. It'll get here eventually.
All that money that was spent.
Gotta be patient.
All that promotion, all that talk, all that rhetoric, all of that.
Woo-sa.
So what, what came out of that?
Look now, things ain't gonna happen when you want them to happen.
Okay, but what happened with all the downness? Everybody was all so united and standing strong, and
that was just for the moment.
You
had to do that. You had to do that to show some type of presence.
It can't be just for the moment. It can't be. I think.
No, it definitely just can't be for the moment. I mean, you got to be in it to win it. And so I guess the ground troops kind of dispersed after that, but.
Because there
was some type of stance.
There was no programs or plans. You have a whole bunch of people. You have a whole bunch of people coming to one area, and then do what? To listen to you talk?
You said what happened? Some people made a lot of money then.
You know what? And some people made a lot of money in some other areas. You know what? Follow the money. Follow the money. Follow the money.
That sounds like follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road.
Money keeps people loyal, but I think one of the things that keeps us here are our loyal listeners. No matter where we have moved the show, and we've moved it a couple of times.
That loyalty, that they done made loyalty sound dirty now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I need loyalty no more.
No matter where we have moved the show, how long of a hiatus we have taken, because I think when we had the kids, let's see, March, May, June, July, August, I think we took a 9-month hiatus when we had the kids.
It was a little minute.
Yes.
We had to reconstruct some thinking around here.
No matter how long of a hiatus we have taken, the listeners always show up. Always show up. So I'm going to take a moment, just a little moment, and shout out.
Oh, I thought we was going to have a moment of silence up in here.
No, I'm going to give a shout out to some of our top countries and states. And as I've said in the past,
I know Australia got to be up there.
Maybe, we trended in Australia last week. Maybe or was it this week? I don't know. Days blur together.
Does it matter?
And as I've said in the past, maybe we just need to go on tour and go visit some of these countries and the ones that show us love.
Who gave us a tour status?
The one that show us love,
What in the...
All right. The top 10 countries on our top 10 list for our listeners. United States, of course. United States, y'all balling. We balling in the United States. United Kingdom, the UK comes in second. Okay.
Oh, I thought it was Australia.
Germany.
Dang.
Germany comes in third.
Oh, I'm really off.
Guten Tag.
I don't say that no more.
Gesundheit.
Better learn the whole language.
Yeah, we gotta learn some German.
All that one-liners.
Germany is in our top 3. China.
I got a whole bunch of one-liners.
China is number 4. We need to go to China.
Oh,
we need to go to China.
I don't even think Chong is the word. Chong is the word.
Stop it. Number 5, Canada. We've been to Canada several times. We love our Canadian people, the French Canadians, the regular Canadians.
I know some people last name is Chong.
Japan is number 6. When we going to Tokyo? When we going to Tokyo?
I don't like sushi.
But you got.
I like my stuff cooked.
You got your kung fu fighting outfit.
That's for the Chinese people.
Everybody was
that ain't for the Japanese
fighting. You got your rush hour outfit.
I bought that in Chinatown.
Your Chris Tucker outfit. Your Jackie Chan outfit.
Who got a Chris Tucker outfit?
You do. You kung fu fighting.
I said that was my made in China.
You got it.
Chinatown.
You got it. You look good in it too. Number 7, Australia. You happy now? You happy? Australia.
I just was misspoken.
Number 8 is France. Voulez-vous say?
I sais quoi?
Something like that. Okay, Number 9 is Switzerland. We need to take a trip to the Alps.
I don't like mountains that much.
I need to ski.
They might cover me up or something.
If I don't ski, I can at least look cute in my outfit, right? In my little ski outfit.
You try to be cute if you want that 30 below weather.
Yeah. And 10, our analytics says others. So I had to go on there. I had to click on and see what these others are. And it says several other countries that makes up countries
Zimbabwe
around the world. Well, there's several in Africa. Just about every country in Africa, even if it's like 1 or 2, 3 listeners,
Zambia.
we have like 3 or 4. We have listeners in Nigeria. South America has like 50. I was like, wow, really? Okay, and then
do we really have to go down the list?
Then Kenya, India, Indonesia, Brazil, Peru, Mexico, and Russia.
My voice getting hoarse just from going down the list.
We have listeners in Russia. Is that good? Is that a good thing?
Is Putin listening?
I don't.
What's up, partner?
I don't know if he is or not. But
hey,
anyway, I'm just
send
wondering.
me the stuff for your boy, dog. You need to know what's going on for real.
So when I say welcome global listeners around the world, oh yes, we are truly
At least
global.
Putin ain't like E.F. Hutton.
We don't know
Just
what
gotta
he is.
hush.
Can we stop talking about it? Can we stop talking about it? Okay,
But he might have some info, girl. Shoot.
Let me go on
gotta
talking
go to the
about
source.
our rankings. Okay, now as far as the top 10 states, I think we've been to every one of these states because we've traveled a lot in the United States. 3, 4, 5 times we done been around the United States and have actually lived in a few of them. Number 1 on the list, of course, is Georgia. Georgia is where we live. Georgia. We're huge here because we go out into the prison systems. So we're here, Georgia. Number 2.
Georgia got to get its act together, too.
California love. Y'all giving us that love out in California. Yeah. Number 3.
We going down the list in the U.S. now?
Yes, I said the top 10.
We had the top of the list. Can we just leave it there?
Number 3, Illinois. Number 4, New York.
Hey, they got some baby, something. So a restaurant called Baby. That's a nice restaurant up in there.
Let us talk about food. Number 4, New York. Number 5, that's my city. You know, yeah, that's the city that never sleeps, but that's my city.
I can't eat off them carts no more.
I love to visit.
Them carts is something else.
And when I say the state, I'm talking about the state, not just the city, but I was just talking about New York City. Okay. Number 5, Texas. Number 6,
I ain't never
Florida.
been to the good old boys part.
Spent a lot of time in Florida, got family there, and that's where I lived as a child. 7, Virginia. 8, Ohio. 9, Maryland. And 10, of course, it was like the others, so you have to go in there. New Jersey was included in just about every other state, including Michigan on down. Every state in the U.S. was there, and Armed Forces Radio. So we have listeners via the military.
Okay.
I just like that. Don't you like our analytics?
We need to know every single one on the air.
Don't you like to listen? Have me list our analytics.
No, I don't like to. Huh?
Don't you like?
Yeah, looking at them on the computer.
You never look on the computer. When I say look, come see, you don't.
Well, you tell me anyway.
Our guest today, we saved the best for last. The last in the Black Muslim Law Activist series. We've done 7 of these guys, and she
the best
is
for last. All
last.
of them is the best.
They're all very, very good, but that is a saying. Excuse you.
Hey y'all, I got y'all back on that.
So Marguerite Aziza Hill is with us. She is from California, getting that California love. Cali comes in number 2 on our state-to-state top 10 list. And just like us, she travels state to state, bringing awareness and fighting the message of racism and all that good type of stuff.
Trying to keep it equal.
Yeah. So trying to get folks to wise up about inclusion and diversity. She's going to be joining us a little bit later, but before we get into the show, now just give me a moment here, okay?
Can we just dig right in?
Give me a moment. Before we get into the show.
When you need a moment, there's issues.
I just want to reflect just a bit on the past 8 years and also the Black Muslim Law Activist series. To you, dear, I want to say thank you. You've been right by my side, attached at my hip, through my crazy ideas, disappointments. When I've tried to get some guests and they tell me no. through my joys when this show, our show, has broken barriers or opened doors just because of who we are and what we do. Secondly, I'd like to once again thank the listeners, our loyal
I sound like I'm about to get an award or something.
Y'all show up.
Where my plaque
and
at?
That's why we are still here. Next, the 7 sisters that said yes. I'd be honored to do this. Every single solitary one of them said it would be an honor to do this. I appreciate you so much. Latifa, Khadijah, Hazel, Nia Malika, Nancy, Aaliyah, and Marguerite Aziza. We have started a much needed conversation. So I've heard, and a buzz that is starting to roll like thunder.
I hope ain't nobody getting buzzed up in here.
This series is also a video series and will be turned into a print piece as soon as I can catch my breath from doing these shows. And there's some other good stuff going on with us as well. And I don't want to let everything out of the bag. I don't want to spill the beans. All praises due to Allah for our health, our strength, our sound mind, and determination to get these shows done. To another 8 years, may we still be bringing the message. Thank you so much.
I don't know. I don't see my award yet.
Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to...
That was like a award presentation right there.
I just wanted to say, I wanted to get through it without being emotional. And you know how emotional I get. So we're going to say some usas. Usa.
Well, I done already said mine.
For the heavy stuff. Let's have some fun. Let's get it started. Let's go.
Hey, this is Marguerite Aziza Hill, and you're listening to the Prisonworld Radio Network.
Greetings, this is Latifa Ali from 313 Productions, and I'm here on Prisonworld Radio with Rufus and Jenny Triplett.
Hi, my name is Khadija Abdullah, and you're listening to the Prisonworld Radio Network.
Hello, everyone. This is Hazel Gomez from Dream of Detroit, and you're listening to the Prison World Radio Network.
Ramadan Mubarak. It's Mia of Audace Entertainment. I'm an independent writer-director, and you are listening to Prison World Radio Network.
Assalamu alaikum, this is Nancy Abdul-Shakur from Oakland, California, and you're listening to the Prison World Radio Network. Assalamu alaikum, this is your girl Aliyah Sharif, and you're listening to Prison World Radio Network.
This would be our section for the prison news. This is our Prison World News section for a regular show. It's where we give stellar headlines, maybe talk about y'all president, what's going on in the world, the craziness. But because it's our Black Muslimah Activist special, we're using this section to clear up those myths and misconceptions about Muslims. We'll say that fast.
Misconceptions about Muslims.
Myths and misconceptions.
Myths and misconceptions about Muslims.
Whatever. It may be African American Muslims that we're talking about, or Muslims in general, but because there are seriously so many, too many to name, and not enough education going around, we're just going to take one. We've been taking one per show, and you guys can go back and catch our shows in rewind and check out what we've been talking about over the last 7 days. How about the one, Muslims don't believe in Jesus?
I love him to death.
Yeah, we do.
I love him. I love every messenger that came.
We believe in all the prophets. See, that's a correction right there. We believe in all the prophets.
It's also a correction that, like, we don't believe he was of immaculate conception. God created him just like in the likes of Adam.
From Adam to Muhammad. We believe in all the prophets. We don't believe Jesus is the Son of God and has children. See, because he is neither begotten nor begotten. And believe that or not, that is actually in the Bible.
And God he don't beget, and nor is he begotten.
Right, but that's actually in the Bible. He is not begot or begotten. I remember that from church.
We doing a service now.
But Mom, we ain't trying to preach here. We ain't trying to preach.
This some type of service.
I find it hard to believe that that's in the Bible. People read it and still don't believe it.
Well, I find it hard to believe that he said he was the son of man in there, and they skip over that too.
Right. So that makes it impossible for him to be the son of God, because God doesn't have any children.
We just making him what we want him to be.
Yeah. And also, God is the creator of all things. There's only one creator and one God and one judge. So that means that you can't have two creators, two gods, and two judges. That's not possible, because it just don't happen like that. Okay? So anything in the Bible, a lot has been tainted and twisted, and you have to read for research, like historical research and study for your purposes. And it's hard to correct some people because they believe exactly what the pastor said.
Look, let me tell y'all
what the reverend said,
what he said in the Quran,
what the bishop said.
The problem that I have with it is nobody wants to read. We just want somebody to tell us what to believe. But here's the thing: God charges us in the Quran with going back and doing the research on the history of His creation. That way, we can make more sound decisions concerning His creation. Now, because of the Quran, a lot of people have converted to Islam because they went back and they researched it, or they found out things that just meshed.
Well,
made sense.
It almost sounds like a brainwashing when you just believe what you're told in church every Sunday.
Look, we ain't trying to just come down on people about what they believe.
No, but I'm saying,
just trying to give you another way of thinking about this.
Do some real in-depth research, or as I've been saying, ask a Muslim, because we're talking about what people believe, Muslims believe or don't believe. So
I don't know where they be getting that stuff from either.
And most of the disbelief or these questions come from Christians. So it can't say that we're downing a religion, but we have to talk about it in context of where it comes from. So you have to meet people where they are. Muslim converts get a hard time. About converting to their religion.
Nobody give me no hard time.
So instead of assuming, what your assumptions are, what your answers are, or what you believe, Muslim believes, just ask a Muslim. That's all.
Ask a Muslim. Quit asking your partner. Quit asking your fellow man that's doing the same thing you're doing. Ask somebody else. Ask somebody different.
Coming up on the other side of the break is a Muslim sister with a whole lot of answers. Marguerite Aziza Hill. Ho, what you got? We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Ron Kardashian, celebrity life coach, and you're listening live to Prison World Radio.
You're listening to the Prison World Acapella Radio Hour.
All right, we are back and continuing our series on Black Muslim activists, which is so needed because there's several of us. They are powerful. And I include myself in it. Yes, we are out here doing the work. What's up? And folks act like we don't exist here. So each sister that was selected for this particular series is ultra busy. As you can hear, in the background, she's with her daughter, moving around. She's a busy Muslim activist mom. And it was very hard to even get her scheduled. There's no exception in anything that she does, and she tries to make it happen even with her daughter. If she's not speaking somewhere about racism and Black Lives Matter, then she is organizing a panel to speak about inclusion and seclusion of us or suppression of our voices. And you can also catch her blowing up a Twitter hashtag. Okay, it's about to get real up in here, folks, because this is one of the realest sisters that I know. Sister Marguerite Aziza Hill. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum salam. Wow, I'm so glad I was able to get on this call. You're so right about the Black Muslim women activists. We are some multitaskers. We are doing so much. Every sister I know is just balancing family, community, work, multiple responsibilities. And just doing amazing things, and I just really follow their lead and work to amplify. So that's why you see me tweeting a lot to support my sister's work. And, I hope to continue to do more and be more effective in amplifying our voices so that we could build power.
Well, tell our listeners a little bit what I may have left off the resume, because, just with all the people that we're interviewing, I can't cover it all. We're a list. We're, as my husband would say, we're dragging our resumes through the door.
Yeah. Well, part of how I got into this work is through my struggles in higher education. I'm a non-traditional student. I came from a working class background, single mother. We had addiction issues in our family, and and growing up, I didn't want to be a statistic. And a lot of ways for me to read, for my own kind of self-definition and finding a sense of purpose. I became Muslim at 18, during the early 90s as a way to liberate myself and for the upliftment of my people and to connect with my African identity. The people that influenced my Islam, there were a couple of, it was actually a family friend, and his sons were young Muslim men that were engaged, and I thought with black women, and so black love was a huge part of just the black family and how Islam could repair the black family. The other part of my journey was as a non-traditional student, working my way through school, where it took me 10 years to get my undergraduate degree. So I have a passion towards providing education opportunities towards, for those of us who struggled. I believe in second, third, and fourth chances.
I know, and that's right.
People inspire me. People have been locked up, get degrees, get master's degrees, and make change in their community, and that inspires me.
So tell us, okay, we have this new, everything is changing in the 21st century, and everybody wants to change the definition of activism. You have these keyboard activists, people that just remain behind the LED screen and just blow things up that way. But what is your definition of activism? What does activism mean to you?
Yeah, you have activism as in activating folks towards change, right? There's a lot to that. I when people called me an activist, I was like, well, I didn't really embrace that definition. I considered myself an educator, and I just, I wasn't a hater. I just tweeted a lot.
Same here.
But a lot of times, people saw some of us who were on social media calling people out, bringing up discussions about race as haters. They're just like, you're bringing all this negative stuff up. And they use activist as a negative term when activist is really somebody that's activating their faith in their social, in the social world, in their social relationships within institutions, within society, of bringing about change. And so, really, you have for me, the simple definition of an activist is someone that speaks truth to power. Mm-hmm. Someone that's going to speak truth to power. So if we can't change something with our hands, we speak about it. We say something with our words. And since, we don't have, we do have freedom of speech, that's the least we can do. We have that freedom where we can speak on something and we could do certain things. Some places we may have to boycott, some places we may have to show our power, or we can show our public will. But the first thing is naming what's happening to us. So, an activist who's speaking truth to power can also activate other people by naming some form of oppression that we're facing.
And that's why I'm going to speak on oppression, since you speak about it. The Black Muslim female trifecta, and us African Americans, we're affected by it because people don't see us as the same and powerful. So tell us about your struggles of that trifecta.
Yeah, I mean, it has been a struggle. I know that we have to work 3 times as hard for none of the pay. You have non-Black folks who are not even Muslims that have jobs doing the things that we do, right? Like of combating Islamophobia, combating racism,
right?
Of working towards building institutions, but yet we do it effectively for no money, right? Of reaching our community, but they do it. They have a job. They work a 9 to 5, then they go home to their kind of isolated community where they're not even affected by the issues of racism, of Islamophobia, and so the other part is that when we're speaking to our issues, a lot of times folks will want to take that, like they'll only believe that if somebody who isn't Black is speaking to those issues. Studies have shown that when talking about racism, they'll believe that a white man is more a credible witness to that and will be much more likely to pay a white man to talk about racism than any of us who have triple layers, right?
Yeah, you're speaking to the choir. You're speaking to the choir here. So why do you think our voice is constantly being left out of the narrative?
Well, partly because they assume bias, like, oh, we have a vested interest, and then it's our community's internalized anti-Blackness and misogynoir. You have even Black men that, and I love my brothers. My husband's Black, by the way. So,
I'm brown.
He's brown.
He Black.
Huh?
He Black.
Who Black? Do you know what Black is? Girl, don't be tough, girl. Okay, I'm Black.
Yeah. I love you, Black and brown. So my husband's Black, African American. What do we have? Blalian. We have a lot of titles, but we are all the same people. But some of us have internalized racism about the opposite gender. Like where you have some Black women that don't want to deal with Black men, and then you have some Black men that when a Black woman speaks on something, the first thing they want to do is criticize because we're not saying it nice enough. And so that realness that we may bring, that's not always welcome. And maybe that's some issues that they have to work on. And I'm here to provide a space for people to heal and deal with that kind of toxic stuff because I'm all about uprooting racism. But it's very tragic when you have sometimes these coalitions and collaborations that exclude Black women.
Oh,
and
girl,
we
yes.
have to call it.
Yes.
We have to call it for what it is.
I call it, I speak on it, and I say a whole bunch of things, and I got a Black man over here that's kind of holding me
Call
back.
me Black again here, woman. I told you I'm brown.
I got a Black man. What's Public Enemy say? It takes a nation to hold us back. I got a Black man hold us. No, you might not want to say that right now.
Well, she done said it because it's not. They just trying to control the narrative. They don't want Black people speaking about Islam. We don't fit the profile.
Exactly.
We got to have a profile.
Yeah, we don't fit the profile. So I'm going to talk. We're going to come back and definitely talk about more what's going on in our communities and with Black Muslim activists. But we got to take a pause right now and just marinate on that thought. Hold what you got. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Prison World Acapella Radio Hour.
Check out the latest books from Freebird Publishers for your incarcerated loved one.
What are all the things you witness online in a day? Cats playing piano, selfies on your feed, your friend's picture being turned into a nasty meme that's been shared 50 times, 51, 52. When someone's being bullied online, it's hard to know what to do. Now you can speak up with the witness emoji. It looks like an eye in a speech bubble, and it's in the symbol section near the clocks in your phone. You'll let the world know it isn't cool, and you'll let your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
All right. We are back, and we are speaking with Sister Marguerite Aziza Hill, and we're speaking about that trifecta, that Black Muslim female.
Yeah, we back and we still black.
We back. Yeah, we back and back.
I said it. I'm black.
Say it loud.
And I'm proud.
I'm black and I'm proud.
Don't hold the fist up now.
Say it loud.
Put that fist back down, girl.
Say it loud. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, with Muslims, okay, you have a way of being prominent in a Muslim community, a Muslim society across the Muslim board, because there's a lot of us, but then some people are more known than others. Is being prominent enough to get our message out there?
No, we have to do what you're doing, controlling our own media, controlling our own narrative, telling our own stories so we don't get edited out. That's what we have to do. And, you know, self-determination is key, right? And, I mean, being in people's faces and agitating is important, but we can't just beg for them to tell our stories. We have to tell our own stories and assert that to shift things, because otherwise we're just characters in somebody else's story, and that's not what we need to be. Like, we have to take the lead, and that means doing it, and that's building it, and that's why I love what you're doing. And this is, you know, where I hope that in the future, when we look forward in the kind of world that we want to create, that all of us can collaborate and build power, build together, and use our platforms to have this 24 hours, you know, like where this, like people need to be able to easily find this and to hear the narrative that you're uplifting. And it's so powerful. So, just, you know,
did you hear that, girl?
Did you hear that?
I got power.
Did you hear? No,
I got power.
No, she said me. She didn't
like
say you.
Superman or something.
She said me. Okay. So anyway, well, I guess she said us. So that's both of us. That's both of us.
I heard I.
This is us.
This is us.
This is us.
That's a movie.
Okay. Both of y'all. That's
see
that show.
See, now you make it
about, I'm not ready.
You making her clarify. Now, we had a wonderful visit to the National Museum of African American Museum of History and Culture about a month or so back, and it is full. It is full of us. Islam is included, and this is one of the things that we're trying to.
I didn't learn that in school. They should have told me Islam being in slavery in school.
We didn't learn it in school. But this is one of the things that we're trying to get out to people and let people know that we've always had our own. We saw so much there in regards to media. So we feel this is our responsibility of making sure we have an alternative voice in media, because there was always the black media back, you know, in the day with telling the stories. So speaking on our culture and our history, you cannot have African American Muslim history without Malcolm X. And how has his legacy helped or failed the black Muslim community?
Wow, I mean, it's his legacy, his words, from the speeches to the book, I mean, the movie, you know, for those of us who are, you know, getting up there, you know, in our 40s, I mean...
Ooh, she talking about?
She talking about me.
Yeah, I'm up there. I'm not saying
I'm about to hit 50 up in here.
You telling your age.
But,
you telling my age.
Yeah, I'm just showing my age. I'm like owning that, you know, like I'm turning 42. So like when I saw the Malcolm X movie, we went on a high school field trip, and that really made me interested in Islam. You know, to see that type of dignity, and also to see that family. You know, like I grew up in a broken family, and to see, you know, and to learn about Betty Shabazz, and to, you know, and to read. I actually started with his FBI files, so I felt like that wasn't even about the narrative that Alex Haley had, but about his speeches and his actions that really inspired me to be Muslim. So we're all like, many people that like beyond Black, Arab, like all American Muslims, even folks I know from the UK, have benefited from his legacy. To be unapologetic in their faith and their own identity. Right. Now, I think that in some ways people overlook Malcolm as an organizer, and then they also only look at like one singular leader when we all have to take our roles and do the work. We think it's about the talk as opposed to the work, but he did a lot of work. The thing about his legacy that a lot of people overlook, they're focused on the intellectual aspects of Blackness, right, of Black thought, but they're not looking at Black collective action. They're not looking at how Malcolm X was an organizer. He organized communities.
Mm-hmm.
He even organized the nation and helped build it up. And that means like some discipline and some self-discipline. And so I think
Yes, and organizing all y'all for these interviews was a discipline. Trust me. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's like herding cats. Dealing with Black Muslim organizers, we're herding cats, and it takes a discipline, but also takes consistency. I'm sure he had folks consistently knocking on doors, consistently showing up and calling, and we have to do that work and be patient with each other, but also hold each other into account. There's accountability in this work, right? We can't just go rogue on our people. And so I think that in some ways people misappropriate Malcolm, and that's not his fault, but we have to hold people accountable into how they use Malcolm and understand him within the context of people. He wasn't a singular voice. He was part of a community, and there were people that supported him. His sister, so even the narrative, it wasn't just him converting. It was like his sister and brother were also Muslim. Mm-hmm. You know, like that's like Ella Collins was key in him becoming Muslim. But like we kind of think about him as individual, not and the people that supported him. And so we have to think about like the role that we're going to take. Are we the ones that create the new Malcolm? Or does everybody think they're going to be that Malcolm? So I think that's the thing that we have to think about.
Right, and there is also a great female behind him, Sister Betty. So as Black Muslim females, how important is it for us to take the reins of leadership?
It is important that we saw from the prophetic time, the women of the Sahabi, they did phenomenal things. They were out on the field. Like they were in the battlefield, they were out there delivering food, they were out there nursing, they were just sharing their wealth, educating people. Nana Asma'u within our own African tradition, and there's all these unnamed women that we don't know, but like they all played a key role in reproducing our community and training our leaders, training young men and women to be good people and build communities. So for us, this notion that we should just go to stay at home and not do anything, that's a Western notion. That's not an African notion. That's not of our people.
That's not Islam.
That's not, it's not Islam either, but the idea that, obviously, we have to think about the model that we shouldn't have to mimic men, or we shouldn't have to mimic white feminists, but we need to turn into the strength of our tradition, so that we make a contribution to our community, and that's to ourselves, our families, and our communities as leaders. And that means like whatever knowledge we have to bring, that's something that's valuable. We shouldn't just keep it to ourselves, but we should make sure that we're passing that on, that we're contributing to building stronger communities. And so, like I do believe in meritocracy. So for instance, if you have a sister that's a great accountant, then she should be on the board and on the treasury. Like it's like she's not just,
let her handle the money.
But I like
do the numbers.
I like what the sister just said though. You don't have to mimic men to be leaders. Mm-hmm. That's not what being a leader is. You're mimicking somebody in the first place. Be yourself. Just do you.
That's what I do, boo. I do me. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Sister Marguerite, what would you most like to be remembered for?
I would like to be remembered for my love of learning and teaching.
That's good. That's sweet. That's sweet. Okay, it has definitely been a pleasure having you here, and we're doing this series because I think people need to know more about us. That there's a lot of us out here that's doing grassroots effort.
The problem is, y'all are out there, so y'all should be seen. They should know what an African-American Muslim look like and how she thinks, what she says, what she's doing. The problem is the other people are doing the talking.
Right. Our voice is important. Our voice is important. It's being suppressed. It's being ignored.
And not to say that the Middle Eastern women shouldn't be seen as well, but but the presence that they're showing of them is not strong enough.
But it's also making people think that is the only narrative
way you can be Muslim
and presence that they have. So tell our listeners Tell our listeners how they can get in touch with you.
They can get in touch with me through my blog, Marguerite Aziza. So it's MargariAziza. They can also reach me through my anti-racism work at MuslimARC.org. I'm also on Twitter, Marguerite, and that's spelled like Margarita, but no TA, _Aziza, and that's on Twitter. And that's probably like the quickest way to reach me, or through email. Just email me at marguerite@muslimarc.org.
That's Marguerite, y'all. Straight no chaser. Thanks so much for being here.
And Marguerite sounds like she everywhere.
It's been. Aren't all these sisters everywhere? Everybody we're interviewing is everywhere.
Well, I'm gonna be like a ghost. I don't need girl.
We everywhere too.
That's what I'm talking.
Did you forget? Okay. Thanks so much. It's been a pleasure.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, hold what you got, y'all. We'll be right back.
Greetings. This is Latifa Ali from 313 Productions, and I'm here on Prisonworld Radio with Rufus and Jenny Triplett.
Hi, my name is Khadija Abdullah, and you're listening to the Prisonworld Radio Network.
Hello, everyone. This is Hazel Gomez from Dream of Detroit, and you're listening to the Prison World Radio Network.
Ramadan Mubarak. It's Mia of Audace Entertainment. I'm an independent writer-director, and you are listening to Prison World Radio Network. Assalamu alaikum, this is Nancy Abdul-Shakur from Oakland, California, and you're listening to the Prison World Radio Network. Assalamu alaikum, this is your girl Aliyah Sharif, and you're listening to Prison World Radio Network.
Hey, this is Marguerite Aziza Hill, and you're listening to the Prison World Radio Network.
Food for thought. Food for thought.
Food for thought. In the food for thought for today, we have our last quote by our last sister in the last episode of the Black Muslim Activist series. Sister Marguerite Aziza Hill states, and I quote, "The Quran inspires me to social justice." Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Didn't you just tell me to be quiet?
I did not tell you to be
You looking
quiet.
at me for-
I did not tell you to be quiet.
I know that's what I heard.
Let's talk about what's in the Quran for just a minute. Equality. There are several battles fought for justice. So just in order to have our equal share, equal say, equal acknowledgement, we've had to battle. It's kind of like all my life.
The Battle of Badr was nothing like that.
All my
That was
life.
a different type. They had swords up in there.
I had to fight. But we still have to fight. And it wasn't always a physical battle. Okay? Sometimes it was a battle of power and a battle of the mind. Allah says to be fair.
A battle of will.
Allah says to be fair, right. And a battle of choice.
He says straight up, be fair.
So if you think about it, what the other
And if you can't be fair, come against yourself.
Right. So what other way should you be if you can't be fair? That's it for the food for thought. Just a few announcements before we go. Books. We have our book, Surviving Marriage in the 21st Century. It is on Amazon. It is a bestseller. We've reached a 10,000 books sold milestone. Jobs for Felon, that's our book as well. And from inmates to entrepreneurs, it's out there on Amazon. You can pick it up. Resources for those with a criminal record. Check out the first season of our TV show, Lifestyles with Rufus and Jenny. You can find that on Amazon. The first show is on YouTube. Thank you.
Let me help you out.
You help me out because I'm spacing right now. I'm spazzing. Okay. Freebird Publishers, check out for books for your incarcerated loved one. If you have someone that is incarcerated and they want to publish a book, they have a story. We tell everyone that is incarcerated has a story. Publish a book, write it, get it published. Freebirdpublishers.com. Yes, they are on their website. Okay, so check it out. Prison World Magazine, that is our magazine for inmates and their families. It's #1 bestseller on Amazon. You can check it out. Gives a subscription to an inmate. Go to our website, prisonworldmagazine.com, and get a single issue. Everything that you hear here is a cappella, a cappella, a cappella. Some is my husband and his brothers. Some is other groups. And everything you hear here is a cappella. If you want to submit something, submit it to prisonworldradio@gmail.com. That's prisonworldradio@gmail.com, and we'll check it out, okay? We would like to thank all of our global listeners around the world. 8 years, guys. Thank you so much. Okay?
Even Australia, although I thought they was number one.
It's so deaf here. And our special guest, Marguerite Aziza Hill, rounding out the series, bringing up the rear, all of that good type of stuff for our Black Muslim Law Activist series. This has been great. 7 shows, 7 nights, 7 sisters, all in a row. We did it, dear. We actually did it. You can find all 7 episodes.
Was there some doubt or something?
It was rough. It was a struggle
up in here.
because there's also video that we had to do as well. So you can find all the 7 episodes of the Black Muslim Law Activist series in rewind on YouTube at RufusandJennyTv, as well as on iTunes and TuneIn. You can leave comments and share as well. It is greatly appreciated. Stay in touch with us on social media. We're all around social media. Find more information at RufusandJennyTriplett.com. Thanks for your support. I am your host, Jenny Triplett, and for the past 8 years, guys, attached at my hip is my co-host, Ismail.
It's been way longer than that. I don't know what you're talking about up in here.
You've been co-hosting this show for longer than that?
Shoot, you.
I'm talking about the co-host.
Girl.
I'm talking about co-host.
Girl.
Anywho.
Tell it like it is.
Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. Okay, that's the remix. God is one, and we leave you in peace. DJ, take us home.
Down with Trip, cause Buck Wild's back on the street.
I'm back, imagine that. It ain't no way I'm going back. The street back, imagine that. It ain't no way I'm going back. I'm back, imagine that. It ain't no way I'm going back. The street back, imagine that. It ain't no way I'm going back. I'm back on the street, imagine that. It ain't no way I'm going back. The street back, imagine that. It ain't no way I'm going back. I'm back on the street, imagine that. It ain't no way I'm going back. The street back, imagine that. It ain't no way I'm going back. I'm back on Prison World.